Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to a match reaction show. It's finished Chelsea 1, Brighton 0, and I want my money back. I want my time back because why did I watch this game? Because I watched this game thinking, well, we're going to have some fireworks. No, Brighton are probably going to smash, Chelsea and, maybe Chelsea will smash Brighton. But all we got is like a typical game where Chelsea spurn a bunch of chances and then they manage to score a goal this time. And they picked up the win, and there's no crisis, no Chelsea crisis headlines anymore, at least for a few days. No, I'm kidding. But the fact is that there's a phenomenal win for Chelsea. Really, very well done. And it's a much needed win as well for them. It's been a tough couple of weeks. They've had a few very, very excruciatingly bad results. But today, I think everything kind of clicked. And maybe part of it is the fact that they were playing Brighton, a side who they've stolen so much from, that they kind of knew their game inside out. Because if you look at that Chelsea, team, backroom, whatever, there's a lot of ex-Brighton people in there, and maybe they knew how Brighton play, and so maybe it wasn't that difficult for them. I don't know. I don't want to get into theories and that kind of stuff, but the reality is that Brighton never looked on it. They never looked like they could win that game. They never looked like they had conviction. And what I will say here about Brighton, I think the one thing that I do want to mention is that, and this is why, people often anoint managers as this and that, and Zerbi is a fantastic manager, and he's a good manager, no doubt. But this is the difference between managing a Brighton and managing a Chelsea, or managing a Manchester United or a Manchester City. This is the difference. Brighton managed Roberto De Zerbi has never had to. Before this, I don't think he has had to manage the Premier League and European competitions and juggle different competitions. And he's had to do it this season. And they played 2 cup competitions in midweek. They lost in the Europa League to Athens. And now they've lost again midweek Carabao Cup to Chelsea. And that is the thing, that there's a very different art in management when you have to rotate your squad, when you have to get results while rotating your squad, when you have to juggle different competitions. It's all well and good playing 38 league games and getting a few good results and finishing 5th, 6th. That's wonderful. But when the pressure is on you have to win a cup competition, you have to do well in Europe, and you have to rotate your squad, and you still have to get results. That is very, very different. That's a different kind of pressure. And I think Zerbi has shown in the last 2 games that he still has a bit to learn about handling those kind of pressures and handling that kind of expectation. That being said, I think today's game kind of proved that Brighton don't have the squad to compete in 3-4 competitions anyway. So I think the Zerbi will be okay with going out of the Carabao Cup, as long as they can make that count in the Europa League. I think they'll be okay with that. But you don't want to drop competitions. But I do feel that some of the substitutions, some of the players that came on, I think told me that it was for prioritizing the league and prioritizing the Europa League more than he was prioritizing the Carabao Cup, which is fair. Managers do that all the time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll have to see what happens in the long term. But that's not Chelsea's problem. Chelsea could only beat what was in front of them, and they did a fantastic job of doing that. And I think to be fair, Chelsea were very lucky. Now they should have had a player sent off. I think Ugochukwu should have been sent off in the first half. That challenge is a rash challenge, and it's a straight red. They were lucky there's no VAR, but again, the referee should have spotted it because he's quite close to it and he doesn't see it for whatever reason. But it was a really bad challenge on Baleba, I believe, and yeah, it was just bad. He should have been sent off. And Chelsea got lucky there. Some might say that Chelsea didn't deserve to have a player sent off in the last game, so now they've got that balanced out. So like I said, it always balances itself out. So they got lucky in this one with that, and Brighton can feel a bit hard done by, because 10 men Chelsea might have been a different proposition. The goal itself that Chelsea scored was very well worked. It was a wonderful sequence of passes from Mudryk to PALMER, and to somebody else in between, of course, but PALMER, and then it comes to Jackson. It's a very good finish. And Jackson, a player, he actually finished 2 goals. The second was offside, but he still scored. Technically, he put the ball in there twice. And that will give him a lot of confidence, because he has been missing chances left, right, and center over the last few games. And there was a lot of talk about whether he's a proper striker, whether he can be a starting striker for Chelsea. So it's important for him to score a goal and to get his confidence back as well. It was a well taken finish as well, like very nicely, well done into the corner. He was 1-on-1, and in those situations you tend to favor the striker, but goalkeepers can often save it, or strikers can often miss the chance. So particularly someone as low on confidence as Jackson was, but he still finished very, very well, and so that's credit to him. I thought Cucurella was fantastic today. I don't know what happened to him, but he suddenly looked a very different player, and it was fantastic. I'm just getting passing there, but I'm assuming that there's something that's going on there. Well, that's nothing. But yeah, right. So Ugo, scored a wonderful, had a wonderful game. Cucurella, of course. Cole Palmer, I think for me, Cole Palmer will probably be man of the match because some of the touches he had on the ball were just excellent. Some of the difference that he made in this game was just brilliant. And I think he should be starting ahead of Raheem Sterling. I don't think Sterling has the, he's not. I think Palmer was more impressive than Sterling has been in the last few games. So I would probably start him in the next one. He just looks so good, so composed, so sure on the ball. The assist that he laid on a plate for Jackson was so good. If you look at the weight of the pass, it's so good. And there were some other moments as well where he made a big difference in the game. So for me, he was man of the match. I thought he played really well. And at the end of the day, I think Chelsea will be happy that they got a clean sheet out of it. I think they'll be happy with that because they've been needing that. They need they've been okay defensively. Actually, they haven't been too bad defensively. But I think against a team like Brighton that score a lot of goals, to be able to keep a clean sheet against that sort of team, I think it will give them a lot of confidence. The only negative, there's one, I think, is the fact of Robert Sanchez. I think he looks like an accident waiting to happen. There were a couple of moments where he, loose passes, poor composure. He allowed Brighton. On another day, he could have been punished for it. But in this one, I think he escaped with it. Brighton couldn't quite make it count. But he is a problem. I hope, just somebody has a word with him and tells him to just calm down a little bit and to be a little bit more relaxed when in possession and not necessarily being so panicky or trying to be, quick or fast. Like sometimes it's okay to take a little bit of time just to compose yourself before you make a pass because there's just it was not so good. João Pedro for me, I mean, so many chances he missed as well today. I think he'll be kicking himself for not having scored, because he had a couple of good chances, and it just shows how reliant Brighton are on Ferguson to score goals because there is a drop off. There is a slight drop off at least. Between Ferguson and João Pedro at the moment. But for Brighton, like I said, I think that the priority was elsewhere. And they'll be disappointed going out, but I think the Zerbi will look back and say, yeah, that's fine. We don't have the squad to compete anyway, so let's move on. For Chelsea, it's a big result. Not just the fact that they won, which is always a good thing, but also the fact that I don't think they will finish in the top 7 this season in the league. So if they can somehow build themselves into winning the Carabao Cup, build themselves into winning the FA Cup, they'll be qualifying for Europe next season. So that might be a route in as well. So from Chelsea's point of view, I think it's important to keep this cup run going as long as possible. I think that sums it up really. Would have been more to talk about. The club is in crisis. You can talk more, right? This was the club in crisis 1. And the club that lost isn't really in crisis. So there's no talking points as such. That's why I said I want my money back. No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking. But it's wonderful. Congratulations to Chelsea. Smash a like for Chelsea. Smash a like for Cole Palmer. If he was your man of the match, if it was somebody else, mention that in the comment section, of course. Would always love to hear from you. I love your thoughts on the game. Maybe there's something I missed that you want to talk about. Do mention that. It's good. It's kind of nice to see Chelsea winning games for a change. It is. And, well done to them. And they've had a very tough period, and hopefully this will be the start of something new. Maybe this is Pochettino's Mark Robbins moment. Maybe from here he'll be a Chelsea legendary manager. One can hope, right? Let's see what happens. Anyway, do share your thoughts. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We always appreciate your support. Got a few more match reaction videos coming, so subscribe so you can get notified as they drop. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.